Hey guys, welcome to Bushes on the Trail. I'm Al, and Christy and I are about ready to do Dragon's Tooth, first leg of the Triple Crown in Virginia. Should be an interesting hike. I hope you stick around. Right, on our way to Dragon's Tooth, being dropped off by a actual sort of a legend on the AT, and Mr. Homer Witcher. He's the shuttle driver. His contact information will be in the video description below. Fantastic gentleman, great rates. So if you're going to do the Triple Crown in Virginia, check him out for a possibility of a shuttle. And the back of his shirt says the man, the myth, the legend. And that is absolutely true.
Wow. I will tell you.
Are you ready to hike Dragon's Tooth? Directions: don't miss the turns. Difficulty level: it's a steep climb after the first mile. Need to use your hands and feet to scramble. Time about 4 to 5 hours round trip. Do you have water? It's uphill all the way. You'll need to rehydrate. There's no drinking water up there. All right. Well, we are on our way to Dragon's Tooth, the first leg of the Virginia Triple Crown, which hopefully we will be continuing on, barring any major setbacks. So we'll see how this goes. Right now we are 2/10 of a mile in, pretty easy trail so far, heading up to meet the AT here in a mile or so. Should be an interesting little journey. Okay, Boy Scout trail to the left, that will take you to the AT, but we are going up to Dragon's Tooth and the junction to the AT, 1.5 miles this way. Okay, 1 mile into the hike up to Dragon's Tooth, and it's still going up. Just a steady climb. As you can see, there's the trail going up. A lot of small switchbacks. But here we're breathing heavy. I'm already burnt like 300 calories in the first mile, so it's a decently steep, not super steep, but continuous uphill. We are about 1.6 miles in, and here we are on the AT. We'll be going Sobo first, and then coming back and going northbound. So we're going Dragon's Tooth, 0.7 of a mile that way, then coming back and heading that way. Okay, we dropped our packs back at the campsite there at the junction and heading south towards Dragon's Tooth. And tell you what, when you drop a 35-pound pack off at a campsite, it's a lot easier to hike. Wow. Didn't realize that pack was that heavy. So we'll see how this goes. Right now, AT is not disappointing. It is a little rugged. And a little hand over hand climbing coming up, which ought to be fun. Turn off the video for this. And when we tell you the AT is no joke, it's no joke. Well, at least it goes down and not up. That's it. That's right. Down sometimes is harder than up.
At least
Thank
in
you.
the upright position.
That's true. Yeah, at least in the upright position. That's hilarious. There's the infamous rock scramble to Dragon's Tooth. This will not be recorded, to say the least, but to give you an idea what we're going up. I have to come back down. We're going up this rock face right there. This should be fun. And here's a close-up view of the rock face. We're going way up there. Okay, we made it up, and here is what we saw. What a view. Now onward to Dragon's Tooth. Okay, 2.5 miles in, you'll come to a double blaze sign and a rebar. There's a trail that goes that way, but the rebar will take you up and the AT continues that way. So once you see the double blaze, be on the lookout for this rebar to go upside this rock. All right, 2.6 miles into it. We're back to, we're at the Dragon's Tooth side trail. That's a little light blue blaze to the left. AT South continues on that way. We are heading to Dragon's Tooth. Only 1/10 of a mile more to go. And here we are, Dragon's Tooth. And nice views. A little cloudy, but man, beautiful views from up here on Dragon's Tooth, on one of the monoliths. Okay, it's about 2.76 miles, about 2 3/4 miles up here. Man, the views are really nice. All right, AT North, here we go. And now we just have to go down this. Oh, crap. Hey, quick shout out to former thru-hiker, class of 2002, Homer, who shuttled us. He told us to drop our packs at the campsite. It was going to be tough to carry that much weight up here if we didn't have to. Thank you, we appreciate it. That was some advice, was fantastic. I'm glad we took it because that's a tough hike without any weight on your back. Okay, 3.17 miles in, we are through a good portion of the rock scrambling and heading no bow on the AT. We'll go back to camp, pick up our packs, and then head on towards McAfee Knob. And this is a very pretty spot. Again, we're about 3.7 miles into the hike, the total hike, heading northbound back to the camp. And still a pretty good rock scramble going on, but not too awful bad. Okay, we are leaving, packs back on, and leaving the campsite and going northbound on the AT. You can hear me breathing heavy. I'm heading northbound right after that campsite. The next quarter mile, pretty steep little switchback, and man, we really liked hiking without all this weight on our back. And the double blaze leads us to this amazing view. Wow. And we are continuing down the mountain, about 4 1/4 miles in, a little more, maybe a little less. And very rocky terrain. Show you what we're on. Wet, muddy, rocky. Had a lot of rain last night and yesterday, so expected it to be a little bit muddy and wet, but still a very rocky mountain decline. here we go. While walking across a narrow ridge line, not quite 4.5 miles into the hike. And the AT does not disappoint with views like that and terrain like this, all the way off in the distance. Helps to have a hand free to get up and over these rocks. Now we'll go down and through the ridge line. And this is absolutely gorgeous and very, very interesting. You don't see this on many of your local trails. Okay, 4.69 miles, almost 4.7 into the hike. Starts to level off a little bit. The rock scrambling down has ceased to exist for at least a short while. So, man, that was a little rough. Hopefully the video shows you what it's like out here on those rock scrambles. It's pretty interesting, a lot of fun, pretty intense at times, but still, this is turning out to be a really good hike. And 5.5 miles in, we come to a road crossing, and Four Pines Hostel is a third of a mile down on the left. And we cross by those cars. And there's a water source here, but Gut Hook says, do not drink this water. Okay, 5.5 miles in, and to the left after we cross the road. A little ways to go till we get a decent water source. And we'll camel up and continue on. About 5.9 miles in, come to these white blazed metal posts to go through some barbed wire. So don't know what that's for. And here we are, 6.2 in, and our water source. Bridge and break time. So time to take a break, lunch break, and collect some water and then continue on. Mill or something, old mill. Huh. See the old water wheel over in the distance? And a waterfall. Okay, and then 0.66 miles in, we come to a pasture with some cows. Hello, cows. Okay, so we come through the gate and we squeeze through the gate. Barely. Wow. And there are the cows. So 6 3/4 of a mile in, well, we're on the edge of a pasture. And here goes the AT through the pastures. Interesting perspective. Starting to rain. Well, it started raining. We had to stop here in the pasture and put on our pack covers. 7 miles in, and the trail winds through the fields. Here comes some more through hikers. Okay, just left the first pasture and then across the road to another one. Very tight
probably poison there.
For people with backpacks. I don't think so. So from one pasture to another. And this one has not been grazed on. Look, white blaze. And off in the distance, you can see a bridge where we will go back into the woods. All right, 7.5 miles in and another pasture. This one hillside going uphill. Okay, 0.3 of a mile through an uphill pasture and then more steps. Holy moly. Just to show you what we passed. That's it. Very pretty, but what a climb. 8.9 miles in and still going up. This is the never-ending mountain from hell. All right, we're on the summit of that mountain now. It is 8.3 miles in, and from here to the campsite should be a bunch of puds, pointless ups and downs, but it shouldn't have anything as steep as what we just did. Not going to be easy, but shouldn't be. Wow, that last one was pretty steep. Have to look and see what that actual elevation gain was. I think it was 1.5 miles uphill. And it was pretty brutal. Okay, pushing 9 miles in and pretty heavy rain coming down. So donning the rain jackets. I am, at least. Christy is toughing it out for the moment, but rain jackets are on. Not a lot different to see here. Still pretty tough terrain. Overall, been a pretty good hike, except for this downpour we're in for about the last 20 minutes. So hopefully it lets up and we can set up camp when it's dry, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Oh well, you know what happens when you hike in the rain? You get wet. A little newt here in the rain. Guess we'll go north. Oh, at least we reached the summit of another mountain. And now, switchbacks down. Thank you. And you walk right up on trail magic. Garbage can, hikers, water. If you need water, fantastic, because it, you know, it's dry here. More magic uphill. And let's see if there's any magic in there. Oh, Kind bars and beer. Light. And we forgot all about these steps. last time we did it. Fresh out of the car at the parking lot. Didn't have 11 miles under us over mountains. Just a light day pack. Man, that was a great day. This is turning out to be a little more difficult than that day. Okay, and here up the first mountain on the McAfee Knob Trail, you run into these rocks, and they were tricky when they were dry last time we were here last year, so I'm guessing they're going to be downright dangerous. But compared to the stuff we saw at Dragon's Tooth, this is pretty tame. That wasn't too awful bad. Okay, and now you come to, that way's a fire road. Some people take that in the morning time to see the sunrise. Here at McAfee Knob, we're going to be taking the AT. Of course, we take the hard road and not the easy road. But I think this is the way to the shelter before the fire road meets back up with the trail. Yeah, John Springs Shelter, I think is where we're going. Last time we were here, stood up on this rock and you saw views of the mountain. Now the mountains are starting to get socked in with cloud cover and rain. This portion of the AT isn't overly strenuous. This is probably one of the more traveled paths. A lot of day hikers come here because the access to McAfee Knob is pretty easy. From the parking lot's only about 4 miles to McAfee Knob, and then obviously 4 back. Just a day pack, some snacks. You can get up there in a couple of hours. It's not a horrible day hike. Today, you don't see very many day hikers. Okay, we're at 14 miles in, I think, total on the hike, and the actual first shelter we're going to try to stay at, it's pushing 5 o'clock. First shelter we're going to try to stay at is the John Springs Shelter. Usually the water sources there are dry this time of year, but it's been raining the last 3 days, so hopefully there's some water. If not, we packed a couple extra liters in just in case. And here we are. Let's see if this shelter is available. Anything here? Okay, we are in the tent and it is raining. We are embracing, it's still raining, been raining since noon. It's hiker midnight right now and it's still raining. It's been raining very hard and we're just embracing the suck. So time to go to bed.
Our 3-day section hike of the Appalachian Trail began with the meeting of an AT legend. The popular shuttle driver and 2002 thru-hiker Homer Witcher shuttled us to the trailhead and provided us with some bits of invaluable advice while hiking the first leg of the Virginia Triple Crown to Dragon's Tooth. As the sign says, the mile to Dragon's Tooth is rocky, steep, and you want to be sure to follow the white blazes, which can be found on rocks, steps, trees, and even on the side of a 30-foot rock wall. The difficult climbs and rock scrambling can seem daunting, but that is one of the best parts of the trail to Dragon's Tooth. We were also reminded that the hardest climbs often reveal the best views. Dragon's Tooth is a spectacular 35-foot rock spire located on the top of Cove Mountain in Virginia, along a spur trail just a tenth of a mile off of the Appalachian Trail at mile marker 702.2 when heading northbound from Springer Mountain in Georgia. This is often considered the first jewel of the Virginia Triple Crown, as northbound thru-hikers pass by this on their way to the other two jewels, McAfee Knob and Tinker Cliffs. From the Tooth, you will see spectacular panoramic views of the surrounding Virginia mountains, and some very interesting photo opportunities will await you as well. Dragon's Tooth is not just for thru-hikers and section hikers. You can day hike this trail as roughly a 5.5 mile out and back, but be sure to pack in water and be ready for a strenuous hike. For those of you continuing to hike to complete the Virginia Triple Crown, your journey has just begun. The views can be spectacular and the terrain remains challenging yet surprisingly fun, with something new to be found around just about every corner. Along our way, we encountered the friendliness of day hikers and section hikers alike. We witnessed the drive and determination of thru-hikers and saw the generosity of trail angels along the way. And despite the cool weather and the torrential downpours, day one of our 3-day journey was a thrilling and memorable little walk in the woods.
Hey guys, thanks for watching, and don't forget to give us that thumbs up. It really helps us out here on the channel. Also, don't forget that you can follow us at Bushes on the Trail on Facebook and on Instagram. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. That way you don't miss any of our other walks in the woods. Thanks for watching.